What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another one of my videos. It is Wednesday, March 5th, and today I just want to make a little quick video about, just to update you guys on how it's going since the layoff. I did tell you in my last video that we are back to work, and today I just wanted to make a quick video also about, some pros and cons of the job. For those of you that may be considering a job delivering, whether it's one of the big companies like UPS or DHL, parcel companies, this was just a little video to give you guys a little heads up about possible pros and possible cons that you will experience throughout the job. So I wanted to start off with 5 pros to the job, and my first one's going to be the hours of the job. The hours of the job, meaning you work a lot of hours in this industry, in this job setting. There's not a week that goes by that I do not work more than 10 hours at least a day. Sometimes it could be 12. Mondays are rough. Those are our busiest days usually. You average about sorry about that. I got a phone call um, while I was making that last part. Anyways, let's fast forward. So I was talking about the hours that we put in during the week. Every week, I put in at least 55, at least at my station, that is. And it's, to me, that could be a pro. If you are a hustler and you are out to go get that money, that is definitely something you would be interested in and would help you out. OT is a precious thing to me, so I find that to be a pro in my mind. And so that's one of the things that my first pro that I wanted to bring up. And so the next thing we're going to move on to here is another pro would be great networking for the people that you meet out on the street. When you're out delivering, you meet a lot of cool people, a lot of businesses, a lot of people of all backgrounds, and I find that to be a pro. You're delivering to stores. Sometimes you find a pretty dope store that you didn't know about, was just hiding, mom and pop shops, that kind of stuff. And as well as restaurants and bars. If you are a bar goer, you like to go out with friends on the weekends, I see a lot of new places that I have never noticed before that I might deliver to, and to me that's definitely a pro. So if you are patient and you like to drive, and you don't mind driving in traffic and all that good stuff, then that's definitely a pro for myself, as well as it could be for you. But definitely think about that. You find cool shops, cool places, bars, restaurants, meet cool people of all backgrounds, and so that's definitely one of my other pros. And moving on to number 3, the pros for me would be the elements as well as the scenery. Now, what do I mean by that? So the scenery could be, you got the nice beach backgrounds. You could be out in the forest, delivering to the nice suburb areas where there's mountains, and it depending on where you live, of course. And to me, that's pretty nice. It's relaxing. You get to see a lot of cool things. Right now I'm delivering over here near the water, so there's the marinas, there's the boats, there's all the seafood shops and all that good stuff. So I really enjoy delivering out and seeing a good scenery, seeing a good background. You could take some cool pictures, take a break somewhere nice, all that stuff. And the elements for me, as you can see, it's sunny today. It's a good day to wear some sunglasses. Very nice day, and I love when it's nice and clear outside. It's makes your job a lot easier. You're not fighting against the rain. You're not fighting against the heat. If you live in a really hot spot, hot area, that could be a con, which I'll get to later on in the video. But number 4, after that last pro for me, you get to be your own boss. That's a very big pro for me. Your own boss out here on the road. Obviously, if you've been in the business before, the industry, you show up you clock in, right? You do whatever the supervisors in the warehouse need, load up your van, and then once you're out on the road, you're pretty much on your own. No one bothers you, no one calls you. And so that is a huge pro for me. There's no micromanaging. You get your stuff, you depart, and you go deliver and make customers happy. That's all it is. So, big pro. If you like to be left alone and you like to drive, consider that being a great opportunity for you, because you get to be your own boss on the road and nobody's breathing on your neck. So, on to my last pro, number 5, of this job or this industry. You get great benefits as far as, my job, DHL. I've heard, good things about UPS. I've heard good things about other parcel companies. The benefits to working in this industry is, you get to have great medical, dental. It's full time, so you get all the benefits that full time comes with, and then some. I know that at our station we get discounts for certain dental places. So if you want to get like dental work done, cleanups, whatever you need done, sometimes you get really either big discounts or you get like the first one free of every whatever year or something like that. So great benefits as far as the job that it comes with. So yeah, that's 5 pros that I have for today on this job industry. And now I want to move on to the cons. So for these cons, I want to talk to you about certain things that I could consider a con, and maybe some people could also consider a con. Maybe it might not, but to me, these are some cons that could also be affecting the way you do your job. Number 1 being the hours. As I mentioned earlier, you do work a lot of hours. Now, a lot of hours could be good and a lot of hours could be bad. So if you're not the type of person that likes to put in 10 plus a day, this is not the industry for you. At least at my station, we have the chance to work as much OT as you want. I know people with higher seniority that been here and they got their seniority. They sometimes might be able to go home earlier if they need it, or if they get their stuff done. Stops are done, delivered, and everything. You can go home early. But mostly people will stick around because they don't finish, or because they're helping others. And whether it's by choice, I don't know. But I know for me, I'm out delivering. They ask me if I can go help others. I don't mind it. We're getting paid, so why not, right? That's but to others that could be a con. If you're not willing to take that into consideration, you might not be home for 10 to 12 hours a day, then definitely a con. Now the second thing, now this is going to be a you wouldn't think about this, but as a delivery driver, as a parcel driver, and you're out on the road, sometimes it's really hard to find a bathroom. And I know it sounds silly, but you would think you could just go to a restaurant or a gas station, which, depending on your route, depending on the area that you're covering, it might not be a possibility. You might have to know the area. If your best case scenario, your best chances at a bathroom are like fast food joints, McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Wendy's, whatever you can. But even then, sometimes they don't just let people go in and use the restroom, which is kind of messed up. But I get it. Depending on where you're at, you got people messing up the bathrooms or hanging out in there. I don't know. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff out while I'm doing this job. But that's definitely a big con. You got to know the area. You got to know which spots are cool letting you use the restroom, and which ones are not gonna let you use the bathroom. And sometimes when you're going into an establishment like a food spot or a store, sometimes they'll ask you if you can buy something, and okay, that's cool. I mean, if you got the money and you're gonna shop around and get something to eat anyways, why not? But if you're not, yeah, you might want to just leave that place and go find another spot if you don't got time to spend on anything. But that's definitely a big con that people don't really think about when they're considering a job like this. So think about that, you know, being able to find bathrooms. If you got bladder issues, that's, you know, something that you might also stay away from. Um, if you have, you know, other kinds of medical issues that could affect your job, whether or not you got to constantly use the restroom, that's definitely a big one. So moving on to number 3, patience is a big virtue for this job. You have a lot of traffic sometimes, especially in the city. A lot of traffic. Sometimes you get stuck behind an accident. Sometimes, you know, the weather is not letting people drive the way they should be. And that could be very annoying. That could be very, you know, a very big setback that if you do not have patience, this might not be the job for you. But if you like to drive and you're getting paid by the hour, you know, why not? You're getting paid. So make it, you know, make it fun. But it could also be a con, which is why I put it in the con list. Um, Also, city delivering, if you're out in the city, not out in the suburbs, you know, parking is difficult to come by sometimes. And you know, you got to do what you got to do, put the flashers on, park on the side, you know, pull up to an alleyway, whatever you got to do. But that could also be a huge setback and a con for people that live in the bigger metro areas. I'm out here in the Pacific Northwest, the Seattle, Bellevue. You know, we have a lot of areas over here, city areas, and it's sometimes pretty hard, especially during rush hour, to find uh, parking spots or prime time, people visiting, tourism, that kind of good stuff. But moving on to number 4, another element that could be a con. I mentioned this in the pros, that the elements, the weather, could be a pro for you if you enjoy being outdoors. But if it's hot, if you're out in a hot area and it is humid and hot and you're out and about, this might not be the spot for you, the job for you, because you are going to have to deal with going up and down stairs. You're going to have to go, you know, in and out of buildings, in and out of you know, stores. They might not have AC. Your van might not have AC. Sometimes, you know, you might get the one car, van, truck that the AC doesn't work. Or if it's really cold, you got to deal with snow, you got to deal with the mountains, you got to deal with ice. That could be a setback and a con. Here in the Pacific Northwest, we get a little bit of everything every year. Very rarely do we get snow, but when it does snow, it's like people don't know what to do with themselves. They drive crazy, they drive hectic. Um, if you don't have an all-wheel drive vehicle, van, truck, it might be a little harder to get your job done. So definitely a con. But I want to remind you, you get paid by the hour, at least here at my station. So it kind of becomes a pro to me. And then my very last con for this job that you have to realize is being physically fit. That's the best way to describe it. Physically fit, you know, you're in and out of the van constantly, repetition, it gets tedious. It could definitely get to the point where, you know, your body might not be able to handle it, especially when you have, you know, 60, 70 stops a day. It could be a little rough on you. So I highly suggest, you know, you stretch every day, every morning, you know, every few hours. If you're feeling like you're starting to tense up, get out, walk around, get a little stretch in. Make it so that, you know, you're not putting a lot of stress on your body, because this job does come with a lot of high stress in the terms of getting in and out, doing the same motion over and over again. So, and sometimes you have to, you know, lift stuff up the stairs. You got a dolly, a hand truck. So you're going to be putting in some work at times. It's not always, you know, an easy day. But yeah, you know, these are just some pros and cons to the job that I wanted to share with you guys. And, you know, let me know if you're considering a delivery job like myself, you know, working for a big company, parcel company like UPS, DHL, maybe FedEx. Let me know down in the comments if this video helped you. Maybe you learned some things or see some other things that are possible cons or pros for this type of job industry. But thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Have a good one.